Can you talk a little bit about what a healthy sales profession looks like, or a healthy job long term?
So, Mike, I want to go back to something real quick, and then we'll get into the long term career because that's so powerful. Your reputation is your business card. We've heard that for years, and I feel that these sayings stick around for a reason. Um, but so when I was talking earlier about asking myself these two questions, I know it sounds hokey, and I know you're like, yeah, yeah. But here's what I want to tell you as someone who's done it and lived it. When I did those things for me and when I kept the small commitment for me, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever that looked like, when I read the email, it didn't set me over the edge. When the customer came back with a problem, I didn't flip out. When I was down to my goals, I didn't start scrambling. In sales, especially when you're a high performer, everything can feel personal and everything can feel like an attack. And that's when you start scrambling. And that's when there's the 87,000 CCs emails instead of intentionally pausing to really look at the big picture. So I want to give that a highlight because I think it's so important. And then to your question on healthy sales profession, now that I have started my own business, it is so interesting, Mike. These relationships that I had in 15 years that I did not realize would come around full circle to help me now as I build this business of intentional living. So I say that to say people remember not what you say, but how you make them feel. It's true. We've heard that from time and time again. So it is so quick as a salesperson when we are frantically trying to hit our numbers or our KPIs, right? Or all around metrics that we lose sight of the human piece. So I would say if a deal doesn't go your way, make sure that you continue to just ping the client and follow up and leave some messages. Follow up is key. Did you know? Now, I might jack up the stats, Mike, because it's been a moment. But I want to say like 90% of your sales competitors, they won't follow up more than twice or something like that. And now you have
Yeah,
to
one
reach
and a
out.
half tries is the average. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And three
And
times is yeah, putting you in the top 10% for sure.
And Mike, what is it to get the conversion now? Is it like 8 times you have to touch the customer or something?
Yeah, 7 or 8 touches, those continue to go up, for sure. But
Yeah.
last I heard officially was like 7.
So I would say how I was successful in sales and how I see those relationships now, 15 years later, sometimes it takes a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years till you see the fruit of your efforts. So I would say don't get discouraged when you don't get the sale right away in the month that you immediately need it. Be strategic and leverage your CRM. I used to always say that was my Bible. And work smarter, not harder. So set up the future traces to continue to touch point the client. My biggest deal that I closed, Mike, it took me 2 years. And I remember everyone saying, let it go, Meg, let it go. And I just knew in my gut. That's the other thing. Your intuition, man, listen to that. But I continued to touch point the customer, not always with an ask, but just a, hey, I was just thinking of you, wanted to touch in. That's so powerful.
I love that. And you mentioned 2 things that David Sandler himself said. One is the work smarter, not harder. The second one, though, I think is a little more counterintuitive, that people don't see this, that the day you're having a bad day and you sent the email and you didn't get a response, or you called and got the voicemail and nothing seemed to go right, you don't see when that person does open the email, forwarded that to somebody else, and that comes back around to you 90 days later, and you have a good day because you made a sale. You don't tie those 2 things together because there was a lot of invisible strings doing that in the background. So, David Sandler answer was, well, I might as well be happy every day because we're putting in the work, we're earning compound interest, we're building those relationships that pay off years later. It's impossible for us to see all of those 6 degrees of connections that happen around us. We shouldn't get frustrated when we have a bad day, and we shouldn't get too excited when we have a good day, because that day was predicated on all of those other days. So depending on your sales cycle, 6, 9 months, over a year, work that you did previous is paying off now. Those are really the days that you should have been happy.